3 Ways Wooing the Witch Queen is a feminist romantasy. So much romantasy still leans on tired tropes, brooding alpha males, powerless heroines, and gender roles that feel like they belong in the 1800s. But Wooing the Witch Queen? Totally different. Today I'm breaking down 3 ways this book gives us a feminist twist on the romantasy genre without sacrificing tension or romance. Number 1. The power balance between Saskia and Felix or Fabian. Queen Saskia is feared for her magic. She is powerful enough to create a magical barrier along her entire country's border. Felix is an archduke in name only. He is a puppet for his evil father-in-law, who abuses him and uses his name to commit evil. The roles are reversed, with Saskia being powerful and Felix being under her power. Saskia is a typical male archetype. Felix is a typical female archetype. Some of you may wonder, if the roles are reversed, that doesn't really change anything, right? If you're just swapping the sexes but keeping the roles intact, then the messaging stays pretty much the same. But Saskia is never toxic towards Felix, like most MMCs are. Which leads to point 2. Saskia initiates intimacy. In many romances, the man is expected to push intimacy forward, often in ways that blur consent. Due to purity culture, a woman cannot initiate intimacy without being shamed. Saskia has agency and desire, and she communicates it. There's no slut-shaming in this book. Saskia's doubts about pursuing Felix are mirrored by him. They both don't want to overstep. It's not about equating sex with guilt and shame. It's about consideration for the other person's feelings. The book avoids purity culture and shaming sexuality. The way intimacy is portrayed is very sweet and not visceral or obscene. There are 3 scenes of touch in the book between Saskia and Felix. The first time is when Felix shows Saskia how to use a fountain pen. Their hands touch. They're both shocked and unsure what to do, but nothing further happens. The second time is when Saskia has grown to like Felix's kindness and consideration and openly makes a move on him. She takes control and touches his chest while he enjoys it, but they're interrupted by Mirjana before it goes further. The third and final time is near the end of the book, and it's done in a sweet way, without graphic descriptions. Instead, the narrative focuses on their feelings, their mutual excitement, their sense of consent and safety. Unlike other romantasies, you don't hear graphic descriptions of penetration or that kind of stuff. Also worth mentioning, nobody really dies or gets tortured in this book. The characters are very gentle, even when punishing bad guys. The author has other books that are more like children's books, so even in this story, the violence and realism are toned down. Gross stuff happens only in vague references to distant memories, not like Game of Thrones where you have to watch some guy's head get turned into a broken watermelon in 4K. Finally, point number 3, the queens of villainy defy gender roles. The author uses stock villainous characters, but then flips the message of the roles. The author uses familiar archetypes and tropes not to lean on them, but to undermine and reclaim them. This is a very feminist move because tropes often serve as shorthand for restrictive gender roles. Let's break it down character by character. Mirjana is Saskia's advisor. She always pushes Saskia to be a proper, respectable, and civilized ruler. But Saskia has always been called a monster for having so much magical power. Saskia has to decide whether she wants to be loved as a feminine queen or feared as a villainess. Thanks to her character arc with Felix, she chooses not to hide her magical power. This results in her successful alliance based on her power, rather than trying to appease people into siding with her. In the end, Mirjana even apologizes for being misguided and trying to make Saskia conform. Saskia and Mirjana reconcile and forgive each other. With Felix's support, Saskia embraces her true self without shame. The second queen, Queen Lorelei, is a pretty blonde woman who's of Fae ancestry. She's shown to be sexually aggressive. Think of the femme fatale, a seductive woman who uses her sexuality to manipulate men. In older literature and film, the femme fatale casts women as dangerous, immoral, untrustworthy because they're sexual. The implicit message is that women who express sexual agency are threats, not heroines. This ties into purity culture, the idea that a good woman must be chaste and passive, only sexual within male-approved boundaries. Lorelai's beauty and sexual aggression turns out to be a strategy that she uses as a way to spy on potential threats, not simply an immoral character. Her seduction is tactical, not frivolous or immoral. She uses it as a tool for intelligence gathering and the defense of all three queens. There are two scenes where Lorelai appears to be a traitor. First, when she tries to seduce Felix despite Saskia liking Felix first. Second, when Lorelai kidnaps Felix near the end of the book, thinking that he's a traitor. In the end, Lorelai turns out to be completely loyal to the Three Queens alliance. Her moments of apparent betrayal actually stem from loyalty and protectiveness. She's not a dangerous temptress who ruins everything. She's a loyal ally whose methods reflect creativity and agency. She challenges the idea that sexual women are automatically bad women. She's powerful and purposeful, not shameful. It tells readers women can be sexual and moral and loyal. These traits are not contradictions. Later in the series, Lorelai also gets her own book. The third queen, Queen Ayana, is the archetypal ice queen. She has ice powers and an icy personality. She's calm, rational, and cool under pressure. Usually, this trope is harmful because it portrays that a woman must be thawed by a man's persistence, which often blurs consent and becomes stalker-like or rapey. Sometimes an ice queen is also portrayed as unnatural or monstrous because she refuses to allow men sexual access to her body. Instead, Ayana is trusted for her analysis under pressure. She's the one who keeps the alliance together when they have moments of doubt or crisis. Her character challenges the idea that femininity requires emotional vulnerability. Together, the three queens and Felix overcome their abusive, scheming families and put an end to the bad guys. They learn to accept their true selves and support each other without compromising their identities. If you'd enjoy a romantasy book where the woman is powerful and the man is more of a sensitive damsel in distress, try Wooing the Witch Queen.